Good morning, everyone. Hey, how's it going? Well, I have my setup all fixed up again, and I'm very happy about that. So the world is good. It is October, and October means it is time to start putting together your plans for National Novel Writing Month, um, fondly known as NaNoWriMo. And for some of us, NaNoWriMo is the time when we do our best writing. It's when we write that guaranteed finished novel. For some of us, it's different. It's planning or continuing or editing, and people do what they want with NaNoWriMo these days. But for me, especially, this is a time when I sit down and I spend 30 days doing pretty much nothing but writing. Um, I write and then I run downstairs, cook meals, and then I write more. um, Basically, the goal is to write 1,667 words every single day for the entire month of November. That will get you to 50,000 words and a win. Now, what do you win at the end of NaNoWriMo, you may ask? Well, you win the knowledge that you actually spent a month writing and came out with 50,000 words, which in and of itself, for those of us who are called to do this terrifying work, is pretty good on all on its own. However, you get a nifty poster that you can put up on the wall that says that you completed in one NaNoWriMo. I have a file folder with mine. I have enough of them at this point that I don't put them up on the wall anymore, but you get a novel that you can then take and clean up and turn into a finished product that is fantastic, like my Taylor Mage novels. You can also get some freebies that the people who support NaNoWriMo offer. So sometimes you can get time on various writing programs. You can get discounts for things like Scrivener if you use that as a tool. Lots of cool stuff. And you get the knowledge that by working on your novel, you're helping other people work on theirs. For me, at least, NaNoWriMo is the most effective time for me to write because, first off, it's only 30 days or 31 days, whatever. 30 days, half November, 30. There we go. um, so my family puts up with it. They know this is my big push for the year, and they get out of my way. And for those 30 days, they make a little bit extra room for my writing. And that's a huge thing. The other thing is I know there are literally millions of other people doing the same thing at the same time as I am. That's something that I can't discount. It's so important, at least for me, knowing that I am involved in this huge undertaking with all those other people. It's kind of like this giant gestalt that happens where you're all working together towards these wonderful finishes. Um, in one of the writing groups that I belong to on Facebook, someone recently pointed out, there's something like 8 million new books coming out every year. Who could possibly be reading that stuff? Well, the answer is that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who it is. It matters that you're writing it and that it's being read. There are two parts to it, and I will harp on this for the next 3 months, but basically, you need to get the words out on the paper. That's the start. If you don't have something on paper, it doesn't matter how enthusiastic you are. You have nothing to revise. You have nothing to fix. You can't fix an empty page except by writing. So getting it down is huge, okay? Planning helps that a lot. And also using an editor, whether that's an electronic editor, a human editor, or absolute best, a combination of both. Um, I do edit some of my own work, but for the most part, I try to find somebody else to do at least one run through of my novels, because when you write something yourself, even if you're a professional editor, which, I mean, I do editing for people on a professional basis. I I wrote it, so therefore I don't see my own errors. And the books that are out there, some of them are absolutely dismal. And I will tell you, most of them are not dismal because of their plot line. Most of them are dismal because they have spelling and grammar issues from page one onward. And that's something that is, I'm sorry, it's relatively easy to fix, and you don't need to put your book out that way. So don't. Um, for those of you who are already, like me, using editors and working hard to make sure that your book goes out in the best possible light that it can, awesome. You're also going to need a type editor and a cover person and all the rest of that. I did the cover for my cookbook, and I lucked out because I just happened to, in the 8 billion snaps I took, got a really decent one that turned into a good cover. That's not going to be true most of the time. Um, making a cover is not the same as writing a story. So don't be afraid to use your professionals. It's their job to make you look good. Um, so yeah, as I go through October, I'm going to be planning out a lot of stuff, getting it ready for my co-author, who's doing all the sciencey stuff for me, and setting up some of those scenes so that he can work on them beforehand. He's not doing NaNoWriMo. This is my project since I'm doing the majority of the writing. So yeah, I got to get this ready for him so that he has the time to fill in those holes for me. As to what's coming up, some of you know, excuse me, I got something in my throat. Coffee. I have coffee in my throat. So I made it to, excuse me, the Blacksmith Festival, and it was fantastic. I was really worried it wasn't going to be good because we were up against the Johnny Appleseed Festival, which was just one town over in Leominster. But we had so many people there, and it was amazing and fun. And we had our newest member of Serenity there, little Theodora, and she's adorable, and she's so sweet. And I had made a tunic for her, and it was basically, we tied her into it because it was so huge. Okay, so it wasn't my best work, but you know what? Now she's got a tunic, and it's warm. We've got a bunch of stuff going down with that, but it was so cute to see her all wrapped up in the furs and everything, and doing all the cooking over the fire. I had a really good time. I did great. I sold a ton of books, and I made contact with the librarian for, I can't remember if it was Gardner or for Fitchburg, but one of the librarians came by and bought a book. I had people from the political race going on there come by, so it was great. And I think my favorite moment was one of my kids. Their friends came by from high school, and we're all excited to get signed copies of my book. And my kid's looking at me going, "Why do they want your signature?" Well, because I'm an author and I wrote something really cool. That's why. Just because you live with it. Anyway, um, I am appearing at Monadnock Oil and Vinegar. I had meant to do that back in July, and I got really sick. I had that horrible cold that went through, and I know I have a number of friends who have that and early strain flu. Please take care of yourselves out there. It is nothing to joke at. I know people say it's just the flu or just a cold, but this year it's bad, and those things can lay you flat. So take care of yourself, hydrate, eat what you need to, and do a lot of rest, okay? But being over that myself, and on the mend. I have my date for making up that appearance. It is October 16th, which is just about 2 weeks away, a little under 2 weeks. And it's from 11 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. I will be there. Now, get this. I will be there with a crock pot full of stew. And I get to give out tastes. There will be little individual cups and spoons, which Monadnock Oil and Vinegar has graciously offered me. And so everybody will be able to get a teeny tiny little taste of my stew and a little piece of bread, so that you can taste what it is that I'm making. Now, I can't have a fire there because I'm going to be in a parking lot. So I'm bringing my setup so that people can see what it looks like, but I'm not actually going to be doing the cooking there. What I'm going to do is cook it at home, but I am going to cook it over the fire. I'm just going to do it in my front yard, and then I'm going to put it in the crock pot to bring with me. And that way, you guys can taste what it tastes like when it's cooked over a fire, but I don't have to worry about setting a light, fire. Bad things. I'm really excited about this. I will have stew, I will have bread, I will have cookbooks. If you have already purchased a cookbook and you would like it to be signed, you can come out to Monadnock Oil and Vinegar. It's in Amherst, and the address is 6 Mile Square, which is 114 Route 101A in Amherst. So I guess if you look up 6 Mile Square on Google Maps, they will take you right there. And I'll be set up outside. I'll have a couple of pop-ups just to keep the sun off, or the rain if it happens to be raining. I don't know what the weather's going to be like at this point. It's, kind of a crapshoot. But yeah, so I'll be out there, and I'm really waiting and excited and happy. And just this is kind of a community notice for my friends out there who happen to be in the Jaffrey area. So here in Jaffrey, we have something called the swap shop at our dump. And it's been a wonderful part of my reenacting journey, because they get things like linen tablecloths and curtains in all the time. And I use those to piece together clothing that I can wear to events without having to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on fabric that I can't really afford. And they have wonderful stuff. So if you go down there, you'll see they have cups and glasses and mugs and videos and music and all sorts of things. And you can take things in as well. The only thing they're not taking clothing or sheets, I think, right now, or shoes. But they do have a donation thing outside for, I think it's for Vincent de Paul or Red Cross. I can't remember, but there's a thing right there where you can donate clothing. But basically, anybody who's in our community can go in and take a couple of items home. And I have found beautiful serving plates in there that have become centerpieces on my SCA tables. I have found, like I said, curtains and tablecloths that I carefully pieced to avoid stains and things, which then turned into beautiful gowns and shirts, and underdresses and whatnot. So yeah, it's been a worthy thing, and they are looking for volunteers. Their current plan is to be open from 10 to 2 on Saturdays, and they really, really need help to keep it open. The guidelines that they're operating under this year, let me find them. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. A maximum of 3 people can work at a time. No children are allowed to be working there for a variety of reasons. There will be a monthly schedule of volunteers, and the recycling staff will unlock the swap shop on the days it's open. Sorry, I have a bunny stomping at me. Nothing can be left outside the building once it's closed for the day. You have to wear a swap shop volunteer badge when volunteering, because then people know who to go to for assistance. You have to park over at the side of the shop so you're not blocking the pass-through area. There's no loitering allowed. There's a limit to what can be dropped off. Only 3 boxes be accepted from any resident at a given time. So people can't show up with like a whole truck full of stuff. There's no smoking. And we accept household items, sporting equipment, but no uniforms, tools, shovels, rakes, brooms, gardening supplies, toys, and non-safety compliance children's gear. So you can't do like car seats and stuff. And other things at the discretion of the volunteers. They will not accept clothing, bedding, upholstered furniture or large furniture, books, batteries or anything with batteries, hazardous material, child safety equipment, or anything that a volunteer feels is going to be dangerous or stuff. Part of that is due to health and safety right now with COVID, and some of it is over. They had issues with mold and stuff on some of the clothes, and so they're just being really careful. And I think they're doing a great job, but they need help. So if you would like to help out, you can contact Cassandra Leach, and I'll give you her email. It's Cassandra_Leach. That's CASSANDRA Leach, LEACH, at UHC.com. So, and if you need that, I'll post it in the comments. So that's where we're at, folks. If you have time on Saturday mornings, even if it's only one Saturday a month or whatever, please consider going and helping out. I can't because I have other things going on Saturday mornings, but they're such a worthy thing. I can tell you that the swap shop helped out at least 2 families in particular who lost their homes in 2 separate years to fire through no fault of their own. And the swap shop just reached out and got them some things that they really needed and were able to help out. And that's such a huge thing, you know, and it's great. So there you go. All right. Keep planning for NaNoWriMo. Start thinking about what you're going to be doing next month. Decide on what you're doing. And I think I'm going to give you a goal this week. This week's goal is to decide what you're writing, give it a working title. Doesn't have to be the finished title. Titles change, that's fine, but something to work with. And go online and make up a book cover for it. So one of the neat things that the people at NaNoWriMo have discovered is that those of us who create a cover for our books are hugely more likely to finish our project. So again, it doesn't have to be the book cover that you finish with. It's just the one that you're working with right now. It gives you something that you can look at and go, that's what I'm working towards. So work towards it. Stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves, guys. And I will see you next week, okay? Bye. Oh, and if you like the video, don't forget to click below and subscribe if you haven't yet.